What is power? So, Folger, Poole, and Stutman describe power in its basic form as the ability to influence or control events. It is also influenced by the perception that people have of you based on your social category. So, rich people are perceived to have more power, even if it is not true, and poor people are perceived to have less power, even if they have the abilities to influence people more than the rich. So I'm kind of in a double whammy of a low power social category because I am a woman and because I am Black. In my work environment, I have to show my power based on the resources that I have. So I can sue someone if they don't comply with my demands. But in my home life as a mother, I think that my power is most powerful when I don't have to exert my power. So if my son does something without me telling him, then that's kind of exerting my power without actually having to exert my power. Um, but what is power in conflict? Um, so there were four tactics that people use to exert their power in a conflict that were described in our text, which were direct. You're direct with your power, um, which means that you do whatever your power allows you to do without being worried about or discussing with the other person what they want. You're direct and virtual with your power, where you let a person know what your power is and you let them see the power that you have on them to make them do what you want them to do. You're indirect, which means that you use the relationship that you have with that person and your reactions in different situations to exert the type of power that you actually have. Or you use your hidden power, which means that you, the powerful person, decide what you want to discuss and what you don't want to discuss based on what would be beneficial to you the most. Um, and I agree with the authors. In my job as a paralegal, I use direct and virtual tactics to exert my power. I represent an insurance company, and what we do is we receive the file from them after a person has hit their insured's vehicle and that person who hit them is uninsured. So we go after the uninsured person. The insurance company will first send a letter to the person and demand that they make payment of whatever amount of money that the insurance company had to pay out to fix their insured's vehicle. The person will ignore them, and then the file gets sent to me. So first what I'll do is I'll send them a 10-day notice letting them know that they have 10 days to contact me, or else I will have to file a complaint against them with the court. So I have to threaten them. But I have to make good on my promise by actually filing the complaint with the court. Now, after I do that, after I send the 10-day letter, oftentimes people will just ignore that. So then I have to actually file the complaint. And once I file the complaint and they're served with the complaint, 20 days later, I tell them that I'm going to file a judgment against them and the consequences. If they don't answer me, then I can suspend their license. So 95% of the time, the person won't answer me at all. And then I'm able to suspend their license. But people will not think that I suspended their license, or they'll think that I'm not serious about it until they get stopped by a police officer and they realize that their license is suspended. So therefore, like I said in the beginning, I'm using the resources I have, which is the legal system, to exert my power and to get them to pay me back. Um, Do I agree that power is less powerful when you live through the consequences? Yes and no. Um, Now, in my situation at work, the people will come in. I'll set up a payment arrangement with them and I'll let them know, you make a payment, I'll unsuspend your license. You stop paying me, then I will suspend your license again. So, you know, at first they'll pay me all the time, and maybe one time they won't pay for a month and their license won't get suspended. Because what they don't realize is that I only remit the payments to the insurance company every 4 months. So our bookkeeper takes their payments, and then every 4 months she lets me know who's been paying and who hasn't been paying, and um, when's the last time they paid. So oftentimes they'll pay month one, and then they may pay 1 or 2 months, and then they'll stop paying. And once they see that their license isn't suspended after that first non-payment, then they just won't pay me. And they'll just deal with the fact that, they're driving around without a license, and they'll just be extra careful to drive and make sure that they're not speeding, that the car's up to date, or wherever the case may be, so that they don't have to pay me. And they'll just they're complacent with the they're complacent with, I guess, the consequence of their action of not paying me. um but I guess come to realize that in my place of power, I have to go back and think about what I can do to exert more power over the person. So I guess in the end, people will be people will perceive you as less powerful because they'll deal with the consequences. But I think it's up to the powerful person to go back and decide what tactic they need to take so that they can get their power back.